Dave, when you look at a game like this, is this one in which you just kind of have to turn the page?
Yeah, I think that's a good start. Obviously, we got behind early, and I still felt good about it. I thought, I expected, Justin to kind of reset, and in that second or third inning, we had two outs on 2 strikes on Cruz, 0-2, and then we leave a slider up, and then we get 3 walks in a row, and Caper gets a 2-out hit and just kind of blew it open. And I think to his credit though, Justin, he got through 5 and allowed us to use 2 pitchers to find a way to salvage the series. Offensively, certainly you don't feel good about striking out 15 times in a game, and just kind of up and down the lineup, just the at-bat quality. We're just not having team at-bats. I think sporadically, I thought, Pajes took some good at-bats today, but I think just kind of in totality, just the at-bats collectively haven't been team at-bats, and the results are showing.
With Justin, he obviously had a fantastic spring, and even his first outing in AAA was a really solid one. What do you think, just with his outing today, wasn't translating for him?
I don't know. I don't think he got in a rhythm tonight. The fastball command wasn't there. I think the slider, the breaking ball just wasn't consistent as far as the sharpness, the teeth to the pitches. When he did get count leverage, he couldn't put him away, and obviously made a couple bad pitches to Wood there.
I feel like there's a couple of guys who were off to slow starts offensively. Do you think that maybe is part of maybe guys pressing, trying to get some out of a slow start to the season is part of maybe why some non-team at bats is playing that tonight?
That might be the case, but with a veteran-laden team, that shouldn't be a cause for panic. Appreciating the fact that there's a lot of season left, and just continue to take good at bats. And the first pitch, soft contact outs, expanding of the strike zone, that's just not what good hitters do. And so I just think that each night there's a performance or two that's really good, but collectively we just haven't been synced up, and that's why I think the offense has been pretty sporadic.
I know you don't want to use weather as an excuse, but there's got to be a correlation between 45 degrees and rain on this trip and losing 4 out of 5, right?
Yeah, I have a hard time kind of conceding that one. The cold front came in, the weather came in the Northeast for both clubs, and so the weather's been fine up until when we got out here on this East Coast swing. So they had to deal with the same conditions, and I don't think the weather was a result of punching 15 times and they didn't. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it was cold, certainly, but the weather doesn't play any favorites.
They're more used to this kind of stuff.
I hear you. I hear you, but that's a young group. They just came out of Florida, and these guys, you can't say that. I'm not going to say that they're used to this weather. Most of these guys are young players that have come from Florida too. So, yeah, it's cold, but you still got to go out there and perform.
You guys have been through these stretches over the last couple of years where you have to mix and match a little bit on the mound. I mean, even when you have someone like Justin who's been up here before, and some of the other options you have, how difficult is it to kind of manage these parts where you do have to kind of figure out, who's going to round out the rotation at a given point in the season?
Well, obviously losing Blake for whatever period of time, certain guys are going to get opportunities, and you want them to try not to put too much pressure on a particular outing and go out there and just kind of compete and get outs and let the results take care of themselves. And that's kind of what all teams have to deal with. And our guys are used to that. And so, again, I know Justin's not going to make any excuses. And I thought he had the stuff to have better results. But just walking guys and giving the free passes and then giving up the 2-out hit, that's just a tough way to live. Certainly against any team, but against an aggressive team like these guys.
Do you have any idea now as whether Justin will stay up here for his next start or if he'll go back down?
Yeah, no, I think we're going to circle up tonight and decide, but we do got to make a move, and he does have options, so we'll see.
You got Landon Knack tomorrow. Is it going to be an opener situation? Is he getting the start? What do you anticipate for him making his season debut tomorrow?
Landon will start. And we've got a reset bullpen, so that's a good thing going into the off day on Thursday. And I expect him to go out there and pitch well, give us a chance to win.
Andy, could you just see the sense of relief after that home run and the value of having that off day yesterday?
Yeah, I thought so. I just wanted him to sit back and take a little pressure off, watch a baseball game, which he did, and come in today prepared. And I do think that the home run kind of allowed him to exhale a little bit. And what I did see is that even in the bat ensuing, I thought he was much more aggressive. And granted, he got an infield hit, but I just thought that the swings, there was more conviction in the at bat, and made a really nice play out there in right field, which is good, and he'll be in there tomorrow.
We'll have to kind of fill out the rotation a similar way next week on, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday. Do you kind of, or how much does that kind of factor into the move that you'll have to make tomorrow?
It plays a role, but I think that we feel good about this weekend coming up as far as where the rotation is at. Tomorrow we got Landon going tomorrow. We've got a reset bullpen, so fortunately we've got some time before we have to think through that. But yeah, the Robo decision has to be tonight, obviously, and we'll kind of circle up and talk to the player and figure out what's best for us, in the short term. Thanks, guys.